It is currently 3:49 p.m. It's July 8, 2024, and the location of this light source is directly over my head. And I just want to show you an example. This is engineered light that's appearing in the shade beside a vehicle. This is engineered light, not sunlight, and it's also occurring in the shade, meaning it doesn't disappear under the shade of the vehicle. That's not sunlight, that's engineered light, and that engineered light is laying on top of what is engineered light that's on the ground as well. This isn't sunlight, this is engineered light. And this is the location where the demons of an entire law enforcement agency that are not engaging in what is serving and protecting the public, they're engaged in surveillance in the state of California, and they're demons and violent sex offenders who are also way too consumed about what is going on with my genitalia, when my panties are down, what I'm doing inside of my private space, whether or not I'm physically indisposed, what time is it that I'm in bed, what I'm doing in the middle of the night if I go to my refrigerator, what it is that I'm talking about, when I'm praying, who I'm praying to, and any of my future plans in my personal life, which is relevant to what is obsession. That's why the entity is engaged in what is group stalking. Stalking, let me remind you, is born of obsession. It's not only ordinary stalking, it's group stalking, and it's demonic activity, and that's why I have the light source over me, nowhere near Ontario Ovitt Family Community Library, where I remained on this day in 2022, just as one example. And it's also speaking to the same location where I was this morning when I walked to my leasing office, and it was just on the opposite side of my person at this same location, which was during the 8 o'clock hour, if you recall. You will see in my still images as I began capturing images of the light source, which is not in Ontario. It's directly over me, and you can see it through the windshield of my vehicle right here. So there's no mistaking the location of this fake sun that is at, again, the same location where it was at 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 1, 2, 7 hours ago. That is speaking to the criminal conduct that a demon is engaging in, sounding the sirens on a police vehicle. That's called criminal summoning. And everybody that lives at Alvarado Gardens is going to federal prison for the 25-8 state surveillance, which is terrorism, that the Alvarado Gardens, the people of the state, are going to be prosecuted for. And they are just one aspect of a very large population that has already been documented and will be the prosecution of the people of the state in the state of California. And the prosecution of the state of California, that is a terrorist. It is revealing what is surveillance in the state of California in violation of existing federal laws. And it is something that's occurring in a remarkable environment, one that is demonic at its core, and it's revealing the condition of the demon that's using an emergency vehicle for a criminal purpose. And every single last person that lives here is of that same condition. That's how, by the way, the fake sun is in the same position it was this morning as I captured the group stalking by Ty Lee and Marina Davila, who were surrounding me at the parking at the my location coming from this direction. If you recall, the fake sun was directly over the same building. Okay, so do you want to know why Ty Lee's going to federal prison? Because Ty Lee's group stalking with that government that's providing evidence against him, stalking in a helicopter, where the fake sun is still over me, and the fake sun is over me at the same exact location. So I'll remind you about where I stood right in front of this vehicle, and engineered light filled that hallway, okay? And Ty Lee was wiping down his vehicle while his shadow was appearing behind him on that wall, and I had multiple shadows in that hallway. So the demons that are using emergency vehicles right now are incriminating everyone. This whole property is going to federal prison. The whole property. And this is documentation of what is malice, an unlawful threat to the life of an American citizen, doing so with impunity and knowledge of the fact that you're enforcing your rights. That's grounds for what is ongoing enhancement to federal charges. Just crossing path right in your face, and the government is group stalking by that. That's the same hallway where you'll remember that I documented this, and she's group stalking now while LAPD flies over in a helicopter, engaging in with impunity and malice, and that's attributed to the entire property, and they are demon possessed. This is demonic activity, and it's occurring. Well, don't forget what they were. This is the same demon possessed agency that's stalking me as I go to the bank. Those that come onto the grounds with minor children, group stalking while this was at, again, 11:35. The fake sun is still over me. Let's be clear. This is the same location where I stood, and that same demon-possessed agency is not going anywhere in a helicopter, telling on everybody that's crossing path right in your face. And while they're in that apartment, they're going to federal prison. The same property is going to be raided, and everyone's going to federal prison. And they're going for a prolonged period because of the impunity while they're engaging in what is terrorism with a corrupt government. And their condition is also relevant. This is a scientific impossibility that the sun is, first of all, over 215 East C Street in Ontario, and also that it was going to be over the same exact location where I stood this morning and I documented group stalking with that same entity. This is the pattern of conduct that the Los Angeles Police Department is well documented engaging in, following me to the grocery store, following me to the bank, following me to Walmart, flying over my head, around me in the same engineered environment. environment. And while I'm standing at the same apartment building, I want to remind you what I documented. And it remains the pattern of conduct, which is speaking to, hold on one second, which is speaking to the very disturbing criminal activity by a population. Stalking 101. This is called tracking my steps. First of all, the fake sun is no longer. So I just want you to recall what it is that you are looking at. This is speaking to the pattern of conduct. This is where I'm standing. I'm standing right over there. Remember, the fake sun is remaining on this photo that you see here. The fake sun is on this side, rising in alignment to me, remaining here at for the core, for the totality of the day, and then setting on the opposite side of me. And that's why when I live at the same apartment complex, it's still here in alignment with my bedroom window, okay, singling me out throughout the whole universe, by the way, let alone the neighborhood. The fake sun, it's not the fact that it's here and it's a scientific impossibility, it's here in alignment to me, which is speaking to group stalking demons who are targeting you, in concert with a heavily documented pattern of stalking in helicopters, which is the prosecution, removal, punishment, exposure of an entire police department, all of whom are demon possessed and are abusing their access to helicopters to stalk and terrorize an American citizen with a population of people who are doing nothing other than engaging in 24-hour stalking. Okay, and doing so while holding mail in your hand and you're walking upstairs under the fake sun while the entity is stalking in a helicopter. That's called impunity and malice. That's a psychopath, and they're going to federal prison. All right, so I want to point that out. This is in conformity to a very heavily documented pattern of conduct, and Speaker Companies is fully engaged in that P.O.C. And so you're going to recall this is the same apartment building that you see here at what is 11 o'clock in the morning. I'm standing in front of the same apartment building, and this is the same parking spot. Okay. So I'm standing in front of parking spot number 27, and I'm just closer. So the fake sun that's over the top of my head in this video. This is Tylee. You can see the light source, first of all, through the windshield of this vehicle that a demon is focusing their visible attention on while group stalking me. All right. And their shadow is appearing on this wall, and that hallway is filled with engineered light. And this is an agency behavior, meaning you are an agent of the state that's engaged in surveillance and you're demon possessed in doing so. This is entirely demonic and it's psychotic. All right, so this is the pattern of conduct. Behind him in the shade. So I'm gonna go get that. Engineer light moves across the building. His whole family's going to federal prison. This is very sad. 7HZG056 is the demon. Okay, wants to be a distraction, but that's why they're all going to federal prison. Never mind that. They're all going to federal prison. So how you see that light source through the windshield of a vehicle that's parked in this parking lot? Okay, and while I'm standing at the same location, here's the fake sun over me in the same position. So to see it through a windshield means that it's in a position right above my head in order to see it through the windshield. At this point in the day, which is at 3:57, the people of the state are engaging in group stalking together. 7HZG056 is going to federal prison, and is again coming onto the property, is engaging in nothing other than what the population, and these demons are taking turns, okay, pacing together because they know what I'm exposing and I'm exposing them. That impunity is grounds of federal prison. This is how you have this conduct at the DMV. This is how you have this conduct at the Walmart. This is how you have this conduct at while I'm at the Social Security office. No matter where I go, this population is indeed confirming what Tylee is going to federal prison for. And so the light source is over me at what is currently 3:57 p.m. and you can see it through the windshield of his vehicle. And this is at 11 o'clock in the morning. And as I walk toward this building, the same building that I'm standing in front of right now, where you see the light source, explanation for engineered light moving across an apartment building. First of all, that's not the sun that will be at the same location. Second of all, that's not sunlight while that demon came in to engage in a documented act of terrorism. That terrorism is what Dominic Choi is engaging in. He's going to be punished for that. That terrorism is what the entire population is engaged in. They're all going to be punished for that. This is a crime committed by a population that sought to obstruct justice and silence me, threaten me. Okay, while they're engaging in it, everyone's going to federal prison. Understand that. And doing so, openly engaging in what is surveillance, the entire property is going to be punished for that. Okay, and that is license 7692L3. Okay, engaging in surveillance under a fake sun while another demon comes in and engineer light moves all across, your group stalking. All right, and so I just want you to pay attention to what you're looking at over my head and what you're seeing through the windshield of a vehicle that a third party is fixing their attention on. while that light source remains over me as I walk to the apartment building, this same apartment building that you see down here at the bottom at 11 o'clock in the morning, okay? This is why LAPD is arriving, knowing exactly what I'm doing on a communication device. That's Title 18 criminal conduct. And so does all of the population. That's why a demon comes by and engineer light. The entity engages in harassment as an entity. They do the same thing while I'm in a private space and my genitalia is exposed, while I'm physically indisposed, engaging in private activity, they're all sex offenders, and they're all group stalking together as an entire population. And you would like to come to LA and Hollywood and live amongst them. This is the demon possessed. This is a criminal conduct committed by a state, a whole population. And their condition is one of demon possession. Okay, that's how I'm able to capture this phenomenon. And I want you to remember what you're looking at.
I'm well.
So let's be clear what it is that I'm documenting right there. That's the light
So I'm going to
source
show you.
That's remaining over me as I walk toward this third party that's engaging in documented terrorism. There's no sun that's going to be visible through the windshield of a vehicle, and I'm standing in front of the same, I'm standing in front of the same parking spot right here, and it's over my head in the same position. And this is a duration of time analysis that while I'm showing you this phenomenon on camera for you to witness. And while demons know it, they engage in more of that criminal conduct that's no longer a secret. Hence LAPD stalking in a helicopter, hence a demon crossing path and engineer light moving all across my person. That's a sex offender touching me with engineer light on my buttocks, on my thighs, all over my person to harass. And it's also in the workplace. Speaker companies' pockets is going to be drained for that. This is exactly what the employees of speaker companies are engaging in. And this is, again, all to the demise of that entity. Not only is it exposing your condition, but you're all going to be prosecuted for it. That's a demon having outrage right now. Very passive aggressive and criminal conduct. And this is the behavior of Satan operating over a population. And so I want you to look at this.
This is
Parking space number 26. This is parking space number 26. That's where I was standing this morning. Okay? P.O.C. LAPD's crossing path.
Good morning.
They're all going to federal prison.
I'm well.
All right, so this third party is going to federal prison. This is an Asian female.
So
9 DDB 432. P.O.C. Pay attention to the pattern within the pattern. Going to federal prison. Dominic Choi, he's going to federal prison. The demons of the LAPD stalking in helicopters going to federal prison. All right, this is the light source. This is what they're fearful of knowing. And so are they. They're going to federal prison.
And these are demons that are engaging in what is criminal presence, living in relative position.
So first of all, fake sun does not create sunlight in the depths of a hallway. Second of all, there's a pattern between demons arriving while demons are stalking in helicopters, while you're hostile to being documented, and the entity has the nerve to try to tell me what I can and cannot document. Hi, there's no parking here. What are you pointing at? What are you pointing at? There's no parking here. There's no visitor parking. I am the manager here. There's no visitor parking. No, we're not. Are you picking up? Oh, you're moving now? Okay, when you come onto the ground. I'm sorry, is there something else you want to say? Oh, okay, thank you. Oh, you're not? Are you sure? No, I'm not. Did you want to give your name so I can make sure I cite you the next time you come onto the grounds? Because you don't have consent to be here. You don't have consent to be here. You're going to federal prison. She's going to federal prison. These are the demon possessed. Okay, she's going to federal prison.
You're not very professional.
I'm very professional. You're pointing at, yes, I am. Do not raise your voice at me, ma'am. I'm the manager here. You do not have consent to park here. There's no visitor parking. Do not raise your voice at me.
It doesn't say for no visitors.
That does not mean that there is a visitor parking.
I'm telling you, when you told me
So,
to
like
move,
I said, please do not raise your voice. No, you did not.
no
You're pointing at the
arguing.
sign, and I'm
But
asking
you're
you
very
what.
rude. You're
No,
not
I'm
very
not.
professional.
No, I'm not. I'm very professional. Yes, and so says a demon. Bye. That says a demon. She's going to federal prison. And she's engaging in what is harassment. So the entity is engaging in what is maintaining this light source. She came onto the ground to engage in P.O.C. Okay, and parking behind what is the same space where I was this morning. So do not forget what it is that you're looking at right now. All right, and coming to that same parking spot while you are engaging in terrorism with the state. This is why, again, you're disbanding corrupt law enforcement agencies. You're disbanding them. This is the harassment that they are sponsoring, and also in concert with the people of the state. This is the terrorism that they are sponsoring, and everybody that lives at the property is engaging in the same conduct. Hey, Lorraine, how's it going? Is this your visitor?
My sister.
Oh, she's very hostile. Could you let her know about the visitor parking policy then? Because I asked her, I said, if she's leaving or there's no parking here, and she starts raising her voice, and I said, she's pointing at the sign that I don't know what it is she's pointing at. There's nothing that says visitor parking. I don't know if you're aware of that, but I've never run into her before, but she says that she's really upset because I told her that there's no visitor parking. There's no visitor parking. You know that, right?
So they can't even park here right at that.
There's no visitor parking. That's always been the case. So what I'm stating is, I didn't. She could have said she was picking you up, then that would have been it. She didn't say that though. She starts raising her voice and calling me names. So I would like to, if you could let her know that I'm the manager here and that we do not have visitor parking. If she's picking up, loading, whatnot, then that's fine. But only residents are the ones that I'm not going to say anything to. You're a resident, and she's not. And I don't know. I know your daughter, but other than that, I don't know who that is. So just want to let you know that's what that was. But she's raising her voice at me is unprofessional, and it's unnecessary. I'm going to continue to enforce the parking policy, okay? Thank you, Lorraine.
So there's no parking here.
There is no visitor parking, and honestly, if I'm going to be faced with that type of harassment while she's violating the parking policy, she's not welcome to park on the grounds at all. I won't give her consent to do so like I would anybody else, you know? So just want to let you know. Thank you. While they're engaged in the P.O.C. Just want to point that out, okay? These are the psychopaths that are engaged in this criminal activity together, and she's going to federal prison. She came to participate in the criminal system that the LAPD is engaging in, and she's going to federal prison for that. And she's doing it on the watch of everyone else that's group stalking as a whole entity. That's a psychopath. Okay, Lorraine Pena getting into her car is nothing other than a detail. Demons want to look like they're doing something while they're group stalking you. Okay, so, and you're not doing anything. That's why the entity is stalking in helicopter. There's no question what LAPD is doing. They're following to the bank. They're following to Walmart. They're following to the grocery store. They're flying in front of my apartment for 47 minutes. So this psychopath that's engaging in what is harassment, that's a threat to your life, while you're engaging in harassment and terrorism with a corrupt law enforcement agency. And if she's not a natural born citizen, she will also then be deported. Okay, meanwhile, this one's engaging in what is ongoing surveillance, sitting in their vehicle. And this is called stalking the path with light, under the phenomenon where the fake sun is still remaining in the same location. So let's look at that.
You're gonna go to federal.
Remember, all this harassment is because of the truth of what I'm exposing to you. And not only am I dealing with someone that's threatening my life and harassing me while you're group stalking, that is violating the law, you're also demon possessed, which is an ongoing enhanced level of a threat to my safety and well-being. Okay, a deranged psychopath in the workplace
With that government.
So
And
let's look at where the light source. Oh, you can see it through the windshield of this same exact vehicle that's right here. I want to be clear, seeing it through the front windshield is the same location right above here, okay? And that's exactly where I was stood, inside of this hallway right here. And you're looking at what is the same physical location. The fake sun goes from one side of my person to the other, and then when you are documenting that, you're faced with what is ongoing terrorism by a demon-possessed population. Both of them, the sisters, are going to federal prison together, okay? And so I just want to be clear, that's a hostility by a demon. That's the reality of what you're dealing with, the spiritual truth surrounding, and calling me names when you're a demon-possessed group stalker and a terrorist is not going to hurt my feelings at all. Satan is a liar, okay? In case you just saw Exhibit A of that. And this is speaking to hostility as I'm speaking to the truth. She's going to federal prison, and engineer light moves across the building, and then that audible activity of somebody that's harassing you, that's a demon. And one that does not have very much self-control because she's incriminating everyone else. That's why you don't want to engage in group stalking, especially with demons such as the LAPD, because they will have you in federal prison for a very long time. This is the light source that's
P.O.C. and it's
directly
not
over
over
the
my
top of my head.
office anymore. It's right over the top of my head.
Okay, and this was captured at what was 11 o'clock in the morning. So let's be clear, what time is it right now? It's 4 o'clock in the afternoon. And this is what the entity is arriving multiple times in helicopters for, because they know exactly what it is that they're doing. They know what I'm doing on a communication device. They also know who it is that I'm telling on, and it's the same demons who are engaging in harassment, the same demons who come onto the ground to just participate. All you're doing is replacing those license plates with brand numbers: Amazon Prime, FedEx, UPS. You can fill in the blank writer, Center for Better Life, Access, which is LA County. There is no exception. Uber, Lyft, you can fill in it. There is no exception to it. And that's how you have the scientific impossibility that the sun would be, as I'm standing at the same exact building at 11 o'clock in the morning, and you're looking at what is the deception, the illusion of a natural environment. All you have is the advancement of engineered light that is in a position to suggest that this is shade and that this fake sun has gone anywhere, and it hasn't. It hasn't, and it's remaining over me, okay? And by the way, when I'm inside of my apartment, it's not over this building seen through a windshield, it's over my head inside of my apartment where demons are concentrating helicopter activity. This whole complex is going to federal prison. Every single last one. All the minor children are in the custody of what are referred to as the people of the state, and they will be removed from the custody of the people of the state. License 76921L3 is going to federal prison. Engaging in what is terrorism via directed light with the demon that came onto the grounds to terrorize with directed light, because they know exactly what it is that I'm exposing. That is speaking to a deluded mind state by a population. This Maradiaga wants to be part of the demon-possessed sheriff's department by virtue of her criminal conduct and condition. She's qualified. All right, she's living at a crime scene. Robert Luna and those of the Los Angeles Sheriff's Department are going to be prosecuted as the terrorists that they are. And the people of the state come onto the property to engage in nothing other than criminal conduct. The people of the state that live at the property are engaging in nothing other than criminal conduct. And I just bring up the reality of what Nadeshda Maradiaga is engaging in is criminal conduct. That demon was engaged in surveillance, waiting for me to move. So in other words, appearing as though she's just driving out of the parking lot, when in reality she's crossing path just like the other one, while the entity is stalking still. They're not going anywhere in helicopters. They're pacing back and forth in an environment where the light source, which is not the sun that you see over your head right now, that you see when they're engaging in police chases on the freeway. And I just showed you evidence of what is being at the same exact apartment building from 11 o'clock to 4 o'clock in the afternoon, and the illusion that there's some movement of the sun because you see the shade there. That's how you are documenting, paying attention to the high level deception of Satan and his minions, the people of the state. And these minions are going to federal prison for what they're doing. All right, it is again currently 4. Hold on, I can't see, got kind of shaded right here. Here we go. Sorry, cancel. Okay, I couldn't see the screen. I can see now. It is currently 4:10 p.m. and the fake sun remains here, as you know, because well after 7 p.m., just as I documented, I want to be clear, Carla Lopez was group stalking this morning, just like I documented. The entity is engaging in ongoing terrorism, as I document the people of the state, and it's directly bearing on how long you will sit in federal prison while my life is routinely threatened and subject to terrorism and harassment by a demon-possessed population as I enforce my rights. And this light source has been at this same property since 8 o'clock, as a matter of documentation today. But again, I'm documenting on an ongoing basis the fake sun. This is group stalking by a third-party employee. That whole third-party company is going to be civilly and criminally prosecuted. And at the same property, which is my bedroom window, at the same address, after 6:47 p.m., I'm showing you what is a light source that's seen through closed blinds. That's my bedroom right there. So that's, again, evidence of non-movement of a fake sun. And those are demons. Demons stalking in a helicopter, demons stalking in a vehicle. All you do is slap a logo on the top of that, on the side of it, put a uniform on those demons, and that's group stalking. It's not different at all. And there is no presence of any natural environment when I am in Ontario, California, like I documented on this day in 2022. And the maintenance of a light source over the building that I'm inside of, which is the Ovid Family Community Library. I've documented it day in and day out. And the entity is maintaining a light source. And so I want to show you what the demons are doing when they're sounding sirens and then returning with helicopter activity. It is exactly what I stated. That's why you have, let me be clear, the demon-possessed LAPD are such heavily documented terrorists. You now know you are directly associating criminal conduct with their presence. So you heard sirens, and I pointed out what it's called criminal summoning. And this is exactly what I documented on this morning in 2022. Criminal summoning, demons driving fire trucks while the fake sun is over me, and a corrupt law enforcement agency are sitting. And guess what's added to the crime scene? The presence of smoke. So then you have criminal summoning under the guise of, oh, there's a fire. And it does not change the specific environment. The fake sun is over me at this Ontario Museum of History and Arts, and you have the same demon-possessed agency stalking in helicopters day and night, sitting in a police vehicle. This is a crime scene. And the criminals want to appear as though they're engaging in some execution of their duties. Demon-possessed fire workers, demon-possessed police departments, just like the ones you see here, group stalking in a helicopter, while I just so happen to be capturing very pivotal, spectacular evidence speaking to what you would under no other circumstances be able to believe if I merely stated it to you, which is part of the malice of federal group stalking and monitoring, the fact that it is demonic, the fact that it is something that you have never heard of before. And how would you recognize or know that it's true but for seeing it with your very own eyes? Satan knows that. Okay, so the entity is maintaining a light source over me at the Ovid Family Community Library today in 2022. They're not walking around in sunlight. The sun is right here over Alvarado Gardens. So what are you walking around in? First of all. Second of all, You know the pattern of the demon possessed using their police vehicles. That's called light activity, as opposed to actually engaging in anything lawful related to the duties of a law enforcement officer. That's a criminal, and that's a demon under a fake sun that's remaining at the same address where I arrived in the morning on this day in 2022. The same pattern of conduct is here. It's not the natural environment, but it is the same pattern of conduct. Where a whole apartment complex is captured engaging in this criminal system, that whole apartment complex is going to federal prison. And I documented what was an act, a threat to my life in the workplace. That is raising your voice. Your voice is monitoring me. You are also present on behalf of the entity that literally paced around in a helicopter right now. The entity that's doing so on an ongoing basis. I am already in a position reasonably faced with the threat to my life and my physical safety and overall well-being. And you are communicating a threat while I maintain my professionalism and let you know what you already know, that there is no parking, but you have no concern with the actual laws and policies. That's why you're here group stalking with the government. Okay, having a false sense of authority that you do not have to group stalk with the government and to even be present on the property. So I just want to point that out. She's going to federal prison, and everything that came out of her face, the entity, the state, and the people of the state are going to be prosecuted for it. Okay, it is currently 4:14 p.m. and this is P.O.C.